I'm Satin, and welcome to Rooted in Real,
where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective. Welcome to episode 8 of our podcast. Ooh, wee.
Wow.
Thank y'all for coming back.
Yes, thank you for returning.
So today our episode is about Maslow's hierarchy.
Yes.
This one wanted to talk about it, so here we are.
Yes.
I had to do some research.
Oh, yeah. She was like, what is that?
I mean, I know what it is.
Like, I've heard that before.
Like, Psychology 101 has been a minute.
Yeah.
I graduated college a long time ago at this point.
Yeah. When I was getting my public service degree, my undergraduate degree, this was like my final project that I had to do. And I was trying to relate it to purpose in God, because at the time, I think I already knew what my purpose was, but I was trying to figure out how the things in my natural life correlated with the things in my spiritual life and how they balanced each other out.
Yeah.
And so the main thing that came to mind when determining my purpose was Maslow's hierarchy. It seems like it would be counterintuitive, like it runs against each other, because the hierarchy tells you about taking care of your personal needs.
Yourself.
Yes, yourself. And the Bible and your relationship with God, and Christianity tells us about putting God first.
And you second.
And then you second. However, the way my mind worked, the way I thought, it was like, well, if you put God first, then your needs become, the things that you want become clear, and your needs become like less important, because you already feel like there's so many things that is being fulfilled.
And your purpose becomes more clear.
And your purpose is more clear. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Maslow's hierarchy, y'all. There are five steps to the hierarchy. It's physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and then at the top you have self-actualization.
Yes.
All right, so the bottom rung is physiological. That's just like food, water,
That's
the
right.
basic necessities.
To keep you alive.
To keep you alive. What's really funny is that this article that I found on the Cleveland Clinic website describes it as, imagine that you were on a deserted island. So
that is so extreme.
It is, but it tells you perfectly. So imagine you're on a deserted island, this plane has crashed, it's you and some other survivors. What's the first thing you're going to try to do? Find food, find water. Make sure that you can you find somewhere to rest.
Right.
So, it makes sense.
It does make sense. It makes perfect sense.
It's hard to want to say, oh, I have to go do these other things, or, oh, I need to go find friends when I'm not even sure what I'm going to eat tonight.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't find the fulfillment in other areas of your life until you get the basics. When I say basics, bare basics.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, bare minimum basics together.
Right. And then the second one is what? Safety needs?
Safety.
Safety. Let's see. The desire for a predictable and secure life. Ooh,
yeah.
Security.
Security.
Yeah.
So mine says physical security, emotional freedom, financial stability, and environmental safety.
And also health.
Health. Yes. That's a big, when you feel like everything is going wrong with your health, everything's going wrong with your finances.
Right.
How could you possibly be thinking about anything else past that?
Who cares? Who cares?
Who cares is right.
Body's going downhill.
Everything is going downhill.
Everything is going downhill. That's for you 40-year-olds and over.
Ooh.
I'm talking about some people. Myself
included. You've been 40 for about 2 years now. But going back to my plane crash theory over here.
Right, yes.
So it says, what are you going to do after you've received first aid and found something to eat and drink?
Right.
It says that you'll find somewhere safe to sleep. And you'll also team up with other people, other survivors, to take shifts to make sure that you're not, getting threatened by other predators and other things that might be on this deserted island. Because you never know what's on it, because you don't really know.
Now, is it wrong that... Is it wrong that my thought process is I also need to check and see if the predators are with the people that I'm with?
No.
I start looking like if I don't know the people, like let's say it's a plane crash, what is that? Lost. Let's say, let's say we're on an episode of Lost. That's going to be my thought process. Oh, actually, side note. I know we don't need to do side notes, but side note.
Here we are.
There's a new TV show with
How we get here? Go ahead.
God, what is the girl's name? She played in a movie with Ryan Gosling.
From The Notebook?
The Notebook, yeah.
I can't think of her name, but it's the girl from The Notebook.
Yes, the girl from The Notebook. Her. She's got a new TV show with Dylan something. He played in something.
What's the point?
The point is, the show is about them crashing and landing on an island or whatever. And I think she was like his assistant or whatever. And he was just like a horrible boss to her. And she knows how to survive. However, he does not.
He don't.
And she is making his life
Miserable.
H-E-double. Miserable. He knows nothing. That's kind of
what you want to be.
I want to be the person that know
knows
it all.
everything.
That know it all.
I told y'all when my power went out, she came over here with these little mini lanterns, a battery powered generator that I could use inside. She ready. She prepped.
Yeah.
So she don't know how to survive if we fall in this. Now listen. Now,
if the apocalypse
we gotta
happens,
stay friends.
we gotta stay friends. If the apocalypse happens, you better link up with me.
Don't be looking at me as the predator. I need you to help me out.
Right. Well, every man for himself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
No.
And again, back to Maslow. That's what that says.
It is. So you are, not the example is simplified to just you're going to need to get to safety. You need safety, you need sleep, you need the things.
Yes.
And of course, at this time, I think this would be in the area where you would be looking at, hey, can I trust this person? Can I trust that one?
Right.
But 3.
Right.
The third one is connection and love. So this one is where you're looking for like romantic relationships, and then your family relationships, finding your friends, and a sense of community.
Right, a supportive group.
Yes, a supportive group. So this is the time, it says on the deserted island, when you start to form bonds with other survivors.
Yes.
You might trade life
Like-minded.
stories, share resources, and agree to certain rules. So now you out here making a community because you don't know when y'all gonna get rescued, if ever. So at this point, you're starting to turn your mind to, okay, well, let's make sure we can survive here.
Right. Let's find out what other skills and abilities other people have in the group so that we can
thrive.
So we can thrive.
And not just
in an
survive
unthrivable.
Hey, it might not be. We might have fish.
We might have fish.
We might have a lot of things out there. So you are trying to, after you figured out that I am okay and I have food, I have somewhere that I can sleep. We have a rotation going where everybody's checking to make sure everybody's alive. So now we're on the third rung of maybe I like you. Maybe you can be my friend.
That's right. Maybe you could be my friend.
Maybe you can be my friend. Or at least I could use you for your resources.
Right. If you are strategic enough, you will make sure that you link up with the people that have what you don't or are greater in the skill that you may have. Yes.
Greater in a skill that you may have.
Yes.
And you got to put ego to the side on that one.
Well, it's easy to do if you on an island and you about to die. I mean
in life in general.
Oh yes, in life in general. Sorry, I was still on
the island. Come off the island.
Come off the island. You know what? That's a word from the Lord. Come off the island.
Come off the island and go with the Lord.
Go with the Lord. Hallelujah.
Find your community.
Find your community.
And now, honestly, with this one, with the sense of community, I just sent her a text yesterday about how I think one of our topics should be, what did I say? To be a village, you must be a villager.
That's
and
right.
I saw
that's
somebody
really
say
good.
that, and I was like, ooh, that's good, because everybody's like, ooh, I want these people, I want those people.
Right.
But you're not willing to do what it takes to have the village.
Right.
But we'll talk about that.
Well, God tells us in order to be a friend, in order to have a friend, you got to be a friend.
You got to be a friend.
And so that articulates in all kind of situations. In order to have, you have to be. So what is that you need? You have to be that thing.
You have to be that thing.
You have to draw that thing
else.
to you.
Yes. See, on a deserted island, you need a sense of community, and you might have to make your village because that's all y'all got.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you got.
I agree.
But we'll talk about that on another episode, and we'll deep dive on being a villager.
Right. I think that's a really good topic. That's a really good topic.
What it means to be one.
Number 4 is esteem needs. The pursuit of self-respect and desire for status, recognition, appreciation from the people around you. That's where it comes if you have a strength. Yes. Again, on the island. If you have a strength.
On the island.
Yes. If you have a strength, then other people will look to you as maybe the leader of the group to help kind of direct people. Because everyone in an emergency situation, they don't have the ability to be able to be calm and like-minded and be just strong and like, okay, let's do these things.
They need to be told what to do sometimes.
They need to be told what to do.
And now that you say that, says as they reach step 4 on the hierarchy, the plane crash survivors have met most of their everyday needs. So they start to look for a sense of purpose.
That's right.
They might develop their fishing skills and feel accomplished when they're acknowledged for their contributions to the greater group.
That's good.
Now listen, otherwise, or others may look to take on a leadership role, like organizing expeditions of the island. Now, acknowledging people's contributions, you would think that when we're on this island,
who cares?
Who cares?
Right.
But people still have a need to be respected, accepted, and told, hey, you're doing a good job.
That's right.
Even if words of affirmation aren't your love language, like we talked about a couple episodes ago.
That's right.
You still want to be told that you're doing a good job.
You absolutely do.
I'm contributing to this new community that we've made, and thank you for telling me that.
Especially in a situation that is so intense.
Intense. Right. Yes.
This
it might ground you a little bit.
Like this is do or die.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. And so in a situation like that, you may be feeling a lot vulnerable, especially if you're someone that may not be able to add anything to the situation. You may think you don't have anything to add to the situation,
right?
Which is also something that we kind of briefly discussed yesterday in doing this podcast. And we one of us was basically saying,
one of us, me. Okay? My computer,
I wasn't gonna say you.
Listen, my computer, my parents bought it for me in 2012 when I was in grad school.
Yes.
Shout out to mom and dad. Okay.
Mom and dad.
They be there for you.
They're champions.
They are champions in this world. And it's just, it's 2026.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just a little bit on the
had
old
some better
side.
days. Yeah.
It has seen better days. It seemed faster, processing. It's seen a lot.
Yes.
So I'm trying to edit one of the videos to be helpful because she has a newer computer and hers works well.
Right.
So she's editing the videos and I'm like, dang, all I'm doing is talking on the mic.
Right.
Like I contributed to half the stuff and I'm talking on the mic.
Right.
I'm doing absolutely nothing else
That's right.
to contribute to actually putting this thing out.
That was her thought. It was not true, but that was her thought.
It is true. Like,
It's
she can say it's not true.
Right.
But in reality, technically, all I'm doing is talking on this mic, and I'm not helping you in any way put the episodes out.
Yeah, actually, you are. You're extremely helpful. Okay, so this is why it's helpful
Here
to
we
me.
are. Let's talk about esteem.
All right.
Vulnerable moments, guys. Here we are.
This is why it's helpful to me is because she provides the place where we shoot our podcast. We shoot our podcast in her house. I don't know how she feels about people being in her space, but I don't particularly care for it. Also, she houses.
I don't like them, no.
She houses all of our materials.
In a suitcase, y'all. It's in a bag.
That's okay. Everything is here. She already has everything set up. Also, the grace that you give me because I'm always late. I have severe time blindness. I lied to myself that I have to be somewhere at a certain time.
And still don't get there
and
on
I
time.
still don't get there on time because time blindness is real, y'all. It's a problem.
It's real with that ADHD stuff.
Man, I mean, the tisms, all of them. All of them.
Yeah,
and so
there's spectrum life.
And then so also you give me so much input when I'm editing, when I'm trying to figure out the way to do something. You give me encouraging words. You're like, oh, you got this. Let me show you. What are you thinking? You help me see a different perspective that when I'm in the middle of it, I may not be able to see because I'm so hyper-focused that I'm not paying attention to all of the other things. People got to quit looking at partnerships as it's going to be 50-50. There are going to be times in any partnership that there's going to be 70.
Somebody doing more.
Yeah, somebody's going to be doing more.
And by people, I guess she mean me since we're talking about me.
Yes, because sometimes you just have to tell people what you contribute is so much greater than what you see. And so it's not all the time going to be visible. And so I say all that to say that when you reach this point in your community, in your group, you may feel like your needs are being met by somebody else and that you're not contributing to meeting your own needs.
Yes.
However, you may be on the island foraging.
Right.
And you may have a sense of, oh, we don't need to eat that plant. We need to eat this plant.
Yeah.
And you might not feel like that's important at the time because you're like, well, I'm not really doing anything. I just told them not to eat that. Well,
it would have killed them.
It would have killed them. They would have been and met Jesus or whoever they believe in at that time.
Yes.
So yes, I think it's extremely important
right.
to appreciate what you bring to the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being confident in myself.
Yes, and also I told her this also. I have I don't want to say exaggerated or unhealthy sense, but I am very how should we say this?
Ain't no we. Go ahead.
Me. How should I say this?
Just say it.
I'm just so fantastic. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. My sense of self-worth and esteem is just...
It's high. You know what? This is the
It's
level of esteem that I aspire to have.
Yes.
The level of confidence of, you can't tell me I'm not doing my part. You can't tell me I'm not good because I'm being my best self at all times.
I am amazing, even in the moments when it's raw, unfiltered, when it's muddy, when it's dirty. I think that's the best version of yourself at that moment because you can't understand what success is until you've experienced failure.
And that's funny because that takes a large level of vulnerability,
right,
to be able to say that I can handle these failures as well as my successes and let these failures teach me something. That is a big vulnerable moment, which is shocking to me that you have such.
Yes, because therapy works.
It does.
Therapy
it does.
works. And counseling, Christian counseling, all of it combined works.
Yes.
And a lot of times, again, with the Maslow's hierarchy, which is the last one, which is self-actualization, being able to come into yourself and know who you are isn't natural. A lot of people aren't born with that. It comes from your environment, and sometimes your environment is not conducive enough for you to already have this. And so when I say I don't believe that I have an unhealthy sense of confidence. I joke about it, but I don't. I don't feel like I'm pride or egotistical. Have I had prideful moments? Absolutely. Have I had egotistical moments? Absolutely. Have I also learned from that to not be that extreme? It's a very thin line in anything that you do. And so I think, and I know, I can't say I think, I know that I have learned not to cross those boundaries in other situations. And then there are, times when you have to be more than what you normally would be. Meaning, like, you have to be more confident, you have to be more bold, because you're going to be in environments that is set up simply to put you down, like to where you can't win, and that's.
And are you gonna crumble?
Or are you gonna crumble, or are you gonna rise up? And history has told me that I
tend to rise.
I can't lose. I can't lose.
I can't lose.
Like you cannot, because some people when they get down, they stay down. They don't have the ability to be able to get up. So I've learned my personality works best if I just hover. If I do get knocked down, I just hover there for a little bit. I can't stay long.
Okay.
I can't stay long. That's why I'm a great friend.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I think you're a great friend.
I'm gonna pull you up.
You're a fantastic friend. Because yesterday I was really like, the problem was, I said, all right, look, we're going to put this episode on my computer.
Yes.
And I'm going to work on it.
Yes.
By Tuesday.
Yes.
I had it worked out.
Yes, she had it worked out.
I sat on the phone with her. I was like, hey, how you do this? Okay. Oh, right. I see that. I see this. I see that. I do that. I did all the things. I had it ready and edited, y'all.
Had it ready.
I tried to export it. And at about 79%, my computer said,
we done.
It's above us now, and restarted itself. My computer restarted before it finished exporting.
I'm done. I'm tired.
Y'all, do you know how irritated I was? And it takes forever for anything to download, like to export from CapCut out anyway. It took so long for that to happen. And oh my God.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
It restarted. And I could not even get it to open CapCut back up. I was like, I bet you that the whole thing is gone. I bet you I'm about to redo it. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, here I come trying to do it again.
Right.
And it still wouldn't open.
And I kept telling you that. I said, it's saved somewhere because it automatically saved. You was like, I don't see it. I got to start over.
I don't see it. I tried to open it. Nothing happened. It didn't show me a thing that I had done. And I was like, man, I'm about to lose my mind on this computer. And then finally yesterday, I was like, all right, this is my last shot. I mean, tomorrow's Friday. We got to put the episode out. Like, it's my last shot at this.
Right. And I kept telling her, I kept reassuring her, like, even if you can't do it, I'll just do it. Like, when I get there,
But you see the problem with that she'll just do it? You see how I already feel like I'm not doing anything.
Right.
And then here she comes like, I'll save the day and fix it.
Also,
so here she is having to do what she's doing and my work again.
However, I felt useless because I wasn't doing anything this week. I mean, I was posting every day, something every day. But
you were doing stuff.
This is stuff I already had done.
But these are things you still needed to do. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna get my life together, and I'm gonna feel better and feel more confident about my contributions to this partnership, this friendship. I'm gonna get it together. Right. I'm just not there yet. Y'all.
And
just not.
Luckily,
there yet.
You have a friend that doesn't see it that way.
Thankfully, yes.
Right. Yes, thankfully.
But let me tell you what happened today. Told this man he told me I needed more RAM.
She didn't know what she needed. She just said, I need something.
He know it's slow. I said it don't move. And then he kept telling me I had a package coming today. And I was like, ooh. Right. He said, you can buy more RAM. I'll just have to figure out how to put it in your laptop. I said, okay, cool. So I'm thinking when he tells me you got a package, ooh, he bought me more RAM. This man bought me a laptop.
Bought him her laptop. Bought
me a MacBook Air. Y'all.
And I said, why this ain't on film? Why we ain't recording this?
Because, we don't think like that yet.
No, we definitely don't. We don't. We just
like
live in the moment.
Yes, and it's hard for me to do that kind of stuff, to be present and be like, ooh, get the camera.
Right.
Like, maybe we'll get there one day. But right now, like, he handed it to me, and I was like, oh, thank you.
So amazing.
I mean, y'all can't see him, but he over here in the corner setting it up now.
And I asked him, I said, what did you say your love language was again? And he was like, I mean... I
should probably take the test again.
Yeah, I could probably take it again because since I've been over here, and I'm sure this is a normal occurrence for them, but since I've been coming over here regularly, everything he does is like acts of service. And I was like, this has got to be your love language.
But it's mine.
It is.
It's one of mine.
It is one of yours. It is one of yours.
And like we talked about when we did the 5 love languages a few episodes ago, episode 4.
Please go catch that.
It was... the fact that when you do something for somebody else, it shouldn't be based on your love language.
That's right.
If that's not what would make them happy. It should be based on theirs.
That's right. Absolutely.
And that does take some thought and some effort.
It does take some thought.
But I will say, him paying attention and doing things like that for my love language does help my esteem.
It does help your esteem.
It does. It does help me.
That was a really good surprise, though.
It was a good surprise.
Yes, because she was stressing out.
I was like, this is not going to work. Yeah. And I'm going to have to buy a new laptop. And
I was like, how about just when the week comes where you want to edit, just use my computer. Oh, also, I suggested, I have a desktop Mac. And I was like, it's in a box. And she was like, why is it in a box? It's like, because I haven't used it since.
Who just has a desktop Mac sitting around their house doing absolutely nothing?
Well, me.
Satin.
And so I was like, you could just use that. She's like, you're going to let me borrow. And she said it so, she had it with such a sarcastic undertone. She was like, so you're going to let somebody borrow your desktop Mac and just keep it?
Your purple desktop Mac.
Yes, because I love purple.
Her favorite. Everything is purple around her.
Yes.
I'm surprised she doesn't wear purple every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, what you mean?
A little extreme though. But yes. And I was like, well, it's in a box. So you could just use it, and that way you'll have something to be able to do it. She's like, let's get to that later. Let's work on this frustration.
I was like, right now, let me just get through this week and this episode, and hopefully be able to post it and move on.
Right.
We'll see if it works out, y'all, because this episode is way out from the episode that's about to come out.
Yes. And my thought process was I was going to bring it to you last night. Because I was like, well, if you want to do it, if you're focused on doing it.
So now I called her. This was at 11.
Yeah.
I knew she was up because she already texted me, but this was at like 11 something. She was going to bring me. I see.
In my defense.
Back to being a top tier friend. If you didn't catch that, that's episode 2.
Episode 2.
Top tier friend. Doing things that I was not expecting you to do nothing like that. Go stay your tail home.
Well, see,
in the dark.
In my defense, my days and nights are flipped. So
I mean, they are, but still.
Yeah.
But listen.
Yes.
So the last thing on the self-actualization about the island, y'all, this one got a little extreme for me. But if you were to become self-actualized on the island, it could look like being at peace with the idea that you might never be rescued.
That is diabolical.
You have all you need right where you are and want for nothing. But that's how it is when you are self-actualized. Not that you don't.
I've accepted fate.
You've accepted that this is what it is.
Right.
I've grown into this person. Here I am. Right. And not to say that you never grow again.
Right.
But you've grown into.
Or not that you switch back between the levels on the hierarchy.
Yes, and you can.
Right.
Like if something were to happen and now I've lost my house, I may no longer be self-actualized. I may no longer have relationships, and I may no longer care about myself at all. I need to find food, shelter, water. You know what I mean? So it's not linear. You can always go back down on the levels if you have to, and there's no shame in that or anything wrong with that, and you shouldn't feel like, oh, well, why can't I just stay up?
Right.
Some things happen. Life happens, and life is hard.
Right. And there are variations based off of your culture and the society that you are involved in at that time. Like, you know, people of different socioeconomic backgrounds. Their hierarchy may be different. Yeah. May absolutely be different of what they need or what they're focused on.
That was one thing. It was like that I read, and it said, like, say you're a guidance counselor and you're trying to get your high school student to go to college. Right. But they got to stay home and provide so that they have a roof over their head.
That's right.
So my thought process is not about growth for myself. It's about survival for my family. And I have to focus on that right now. Right. And I have to give you, so now that person needs to give you tips based on where you are in life and on the hierarchy at this time.
And, you know, that actually puts me in mind when I was talking to my childhood friend. We were at church the other Sunday, and she was bringing up some things from our childhood, just like some of the stuff that we would do. And she was, like, just drawing a parallel to how she lived her life and how I lived my life. You know, she was talking about, we were like, I don't know, maybe about 9 or 10, or maybe 10 or 11. Like, we were really, really young. And we all said that we were going to go to the store to buy some candy or something. So we all went into the store to buy candy. And her and whatever my other group of friends, they went over to the candy side, and I went over to the personal item side. And I bought, you know, personal items, lotion, deodorant, things like that.
9, 10 years old.
Yeah, 9, 10 years old. And we came to the register, and she was like, what are you buying? And this is her retelling the story. Me, in the back of my mind, I don't recall it until she starts telling me the story. And I was like, you know, personal items, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, but why? We came in to get candy. I was like, because I need soap and deodorant and lotion or whatever. And as she was recalling it, it's like all of the memories of, you know, my childhood started flooding back, certain things. And she was like, Satin has been an adult since she was like 9 years old. In her mind. And she just went and she articulated a lot of things and just retold a lot of things that she witnessed because she was my best friend. Growing up, and she still is, but she witnessed so many things, and she was like, I just remember when you did this, when you did that, when this happened, when we would go here, when you bought this. And I was like, oh my God, what was I doing? A lot of stuff, some stuff illegal, but I was doing a lot of stuff to make sure that I survived because my needs weren't being met, not because
you needed them done.
And I needed them done. And so at that time, it just made me realize, like, okay, you know, some of the things that are important to others are not important to me. And were we in the same socioeconomic status? Yes, we absolutely was. But her family life was different than my family life.
They cared more about getting her needs met in
right.
that way.
Right. And so the things that she focused
needs.
on, the things that she focused on were not the things that I focused on.
Right. While you focusing on the first rung, she might be on the second or third.
Right. She focused on being
the fourth, honestly.
Right. She focused on being a kid, and I focused on trying to survive.
Yes. It's
right.
rough.
Not you know, again, when you get older, you realize maybe this wasn't the greatest thing, but in the time, it was like, that's normal. Everybody in my household and the area where I lived at done that. It wasn't until, of course, as I got, you know, older and I started visiting friends' house, and I say visiting friends' house, my grandma didn't let me go to nobody's house, but I just mean people houses that I went to and I wasn't supposed to be at. I started noticing a difference in the way that they operated in their households. Yeah, and their needs being met, like their parents fixing them, cooking them dinner. And
see, that's good because, and honestly, that feels to me like it's like God. Like, you could have gone through life just based on what you knew about how it is to raise children, how it is to live. But he put people in your life that were different.
Right.
That had a better upbringing for you to say, maybe when I have kids, that's how I want them to
that's
be.
how I
their
want them to do.
I don't want them going to the store at 9, 10 years old having to buy their own deodorant.
Right. And my kid even said it. I said something about me buying her something or doing something for her. And she was like, can you do for yourself first before you do for me? And I was like, what do you mean I do? And she was like, how about this? And then I said, okay, I will put on my face mask before I put on yours.
Yes. Put on
because,
your mask
you know,
first.
if there's a situation and you're on an airplane and, you know, you put on your mask before you put on other, because you can if you have lack of oxygen. Right. And so I told her, I said, yeah, I'll do that before I do you. But I think because, again, going back to the Maslow's hierarchy, there were so many of my needs that weren't met that I had to meet on my own or as a child, that for her, with my children, I was like, let me make sure that.
And you might have gone a little overboard.
I absolutely, I gotta quit saying absolute, but I positively went overboard. Absolutely.
But I get that because you didn't see the healthiness of, this is how much I'm supposed to give my kid.
Right.
All you know was, I didn't get nothing, so let me make sure they get everything.
Everything. And my husband was like, yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. He was very balanced. Yeah.
See, another thing, God gave you a man of God that could teach you what you're supposed to be doing and what you're supposed to be doing.
Let's not do that, because we're gonna raise spoiled kids. And I'm like, I don't care if they spoiled, and
we're gonna be broke.
Yeah, well,
don't forget that part. Because you spend a lot of money.
If
it was up to you, you would just be like, well, the water bill could wait.
I probably would.
She want this new Lego set. The water bill can wait.
Yes, she does.
I mean, we'll pay it. It'll have a little late fee. It'll be fine. Because you just went overboard.
Or the other side of that is, I believe so much that if I take care of God's house and God's people,
that he'll take care of you.
That he'll take care of me. And he has not proven me wrong.
What you said earlier, I can't lose.
I can't lose. Can't lose with God on your side.
You cannot.
Yes.
So I think we did it. Look at us.
We did do a good job. I did want to ask you, where do you think you fall at?
I knew you was going to do that. I tried to cut you off first.
Yeah, no.
So honestly, y'all, I would probably go with either 3 or 4. Y'all let us know in the comments where you think you are on the hierarchy. Only 3. I say 3 because I'm still finding my sense of community.
Right.
I'm still deciding who's in my village, which goes with the love and connection.
Right.
Now I got my romantic relationship on lock, my kids, my family, but like my friends, I'm still building the community that I want for that. But honestly, the esteem, which is our next episode about self-esteem and such, it could be better. It could be better. And I actually talked to my therapist about that today. I feel like I say that every time, but I talk to her every other week.
Because it's necessary.
It's necessary. And we discussed some things about self-esteem. But my confidence is better than it used to be. And she acknowledged that. She was like, I'll give you that. It used to be here, and we're about here. We just need to get about here.
That's right.
Okay. So I think I'm either in between 3 and 4 or more on the 4 rung, while this one over here is self-actualized.
She say that. I don't really know where I fall at. I just where I get in, where I fit in. And I know she asked, where you guys think you fall. The 5.
Oh yeah, we'll say them again.
The tier is physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem needs, and self-actualization.
Yeah. Now I do have a friend. I'm gonna say her name is Tia.
Yeah.
I do feel like I could ask her and she might say something different, but outwardly,
yes,
she appears to be self-actualized.
She does. Absolutely.
She is in her 40s, and she, when you talk to her, she is just, I am who I am. I've grown into this person. She continues to have growth in her, and she like embraces the fact that like, oh yeah, I'm over 40 now. Let me get my reading glasses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it feels very much self-actualized.
Right.
Very much like she knows who she is, where she's going in life, and what she's gonna do. So I mean, just that is what I picture. Not necessarily just her, but like those are the things that I think about when I say, am I self-actualized?
Right.
And I am not currently, but I'm gonna get there.
You are gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there.
This was a great episode.
It was. I enjoyed it. At first, I was like, what are we going to talk about? But I get it. I get why you want to talk about it.
Yes, because it's so important, especially when you're growing your relationship with God or when you're growing your relationship with people.
Yeah.
When people say, well, I don't know what I need. I mean, well, it's always said, you don't know what you need, so you don't know what you can give to other people.
Right.
Like, you can't give what you don't already have, or you can't give what you don't already have an experience, because when you try to pour out something, when you try to pour out from an empty cup, it's dust.
Yes.
It's straight dust.
Yes. And this might also help you if you feel like you in the physiological state. You shouldn't be looking for no man or no woman.
Man, leave them people
alone.
Don't
bring nobody in your life when you can't even figure out what your next meal is and where it's going to come from.
Get your life together.
I'm just saying. That's just just an aside.
Just off the side note. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming to visit us. We hope that y'all come back next week. Like, share, subscribe. Come back and see us. Okay?
Yes.
And let us know where you fall on the hierarchy, all right?
Right, absolutely.
All right. See y'all next week.